Scottie Scheffler had a good first round. He's the prohibitive favorite here, even though Xander Schauffele shot a record 62, a record-tying 62 in his opening round. He's going to the golf course early this morning, around 3 hours before his tee time. He was supposed to tee off already. There's a rain delay, and now his tee time has been moved back to a little after 10 o'clock. So he was arrested and released. Now, there's certain things that pop up on your phone, and you go, that can't be true. Scottie Scheffler arrested. Scottie Scheffler? And then you see the video, the reporting. Jeff Darlington has done a wonderful job on the mothership, and he was booked with 4 different charges. Now, there was an accident where there was a fatality, and so there was a long line of people trying to get into the golf course. And he's got a courtesy car. It says on the side it's a courtesy car, and usually you let those people go into the golf course. Everybody else is going to be on a shuttle bus. They'll park someplace, usually, half a mile away, and then shuttle buses will bring the fans in. So Scottie was trying to go in to the golf course, and Jeff Darlington was in the car behind Scottie Scheffler, the ESPN reporter, and he had this to say earlier this morning on SportsCenter.
To be very clear about the details here, Scottie Scheffler has been detained by police officers, placed in the back of a police vehicle in handcuffs after he tried to pull around what he believed to be security, ended up being police officers. They told him to stop. When he didn't stop, the police officer attached himself to the vehicle. Scheffler then traveled another 10 yards before stopping the car. The police officer then grabbed at his arm, attempting to pull him out of the car before Scheffler eventually opened the door, at which point the police officer pulled Scheffler out of the car, pushed him up against the car, and immediately placed him in handcuffs.
He got a mugshot. He's been released. Here are the charges. Assault second degree on a police officer, criminal mischief third degree, reckless driving, disregarding signals from officers directing traffic. Jeff Darlington, who's done a great job reporting, did say that Scheffler didn't realize it was a police officer. They're in a neon yellow slicker, and he wasn't able to see that he was a police officer. It was dark. It was really early in the morning, before 6 a.m., and there's a long line of traffic. He is trying to go in, and he has the markings on his car that allow him to do that. The officer maybe saw him disregarding what he said to stop. There had been a fatality, and Scottie kept going. And then all of a sudden, the officer attached himself to the car. Scottie stopped. Now, this is according to eyewitnesses. They grab him. They take him out of the car. They handcuff him. They don't even know it's Scottie Scheffler. In fact, Jeff Darlington gets out of his car to tell the officers who he is. They tell Jeff Darlington, get back in his car, and he says, I'm a member of the press. They still don't want him around the situation, and they go, who did we arrest? And he said, this according to eyewitness reports, Scottie Scheffler. So they took Scheffler to jail. Now, if there wasn't a delay due to the rain in Louisville, then he would have missed his tee time. He has to be able to get to the first tee before the players in his group finish their hole. So he will be penalized if that's the case. But he could still, if he gets there late. Now, golf, there's a routine that they have. That's why they get there usually 2.5 to 3 hours in advance. Because they get there, they stretch, they work out, they have breakfast, they get dressed, they go to the practice range. So there's then they go to the putting green, and then they go to the first tee. They usually allow about a three-hour window here. He won't have that luxury at all. But can he get there for his tee time? It's a little after 10 o'clock, so a little bit more than an hour from now. Can he get there? And I don't even know if he'll have time to warm up. I don't know if he'll have time for the routine. And then to go out there and play golf after you've been arrested. And we know this is a mental game. But to go out there after you've been in handcuffs, in a police car, you've been booked, you got a mugshot. He even has the jail orange, the jumpsuit on. So this is a serious situation. Obviously, somebody lost their life earlier this morning. That created the long delay. Then you had the weather, and Scottie Scheffler, now can he get to the golf course in time for his second round? Yeah, Paulie.
I have a couple updates. Jason Sobel of SiriusXM Golf said Scheffler's tee time was changed from 8:28 to 10:08 a.m. under Rule 5.3. The committee decides that exceptional circumstances preventing you from starting on time. So it appears they gave him a little wiggle room beyond the weather to start later. And this is from golf.com about half an hour ago. Scottie Scheffler has been released from the jail and will be at Valhalla in 15 minutes. That was at 8:40 a.m. local time.
Okay. So he's going to get there and he'll have an hour to get ready. But you can't change his tee time without changing the tee time of the other players who are going to play with him.
That we're trying to figure out, but there seems to be an exception.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, because the other two golfers playing with him, then you're changing their tee time as well. And I know number one player in the world, you want to accommodate him, but this goes back to what leagues can do and not do. Go back to what happened with the Phoenix Suns, San Antonio Spurs many, many years ago, when Amari Stoudemire got off the bench, didn't fight anybody with San Antonio, but he was suspended, and the commissioner was not hearing anything. He was like, no, he broke a rule, and that's it. I don't know if you go out of your way to accommodate Scottie Scheffler, but if there is an exception rule and you're able to accommodate him, I'd like to know what happens with the other golfers who are playing with him.
It does appear that his group, Wyndham Clark and Brian Harmon, are all moved to 10:08 a.m.
Okay.
And it appears the whole group has been moved to that time.
All right. So we'll keep an eye on this and let you know if he gets there. I'm assuming he will get there. Now, how did they accommodate him this time around? Does he get a police escort from the police department, the jail, to get to the golf course? And I would have somebody else drive him, but I'm assuming he'll be there and he'll be able to play. He doesn't make headlines. He didn't say anything. He's pretty sedate. And all of a sudden, of all the people, if I said a golfer got arrested this morning, you wouldn't have said Scottie Scheffler if I gave you 100 guesses. But here he is, arrested, mugshot, 4 charges, and now he heads to the golf course trying to win another major. Degree of difficulty. I know Tiger's done some incredible things, but degree of difficulty? Out of a jail cell, out of a jumpsuit, onto the first tee. And can you imagine how the crowd is going to respond to him? They will be all over in his corner, cheering for Scottie Scheffler. He's one of us. He got in trouble. Jail to the first tee. Wow, what a morning. How do you get your head straight? So yesterday, his second shot, the second shot he's had since his wife had their baby. He has an eagle. He holes out from 170 yards out. And you're like, all right, welcome to fatherhood here. It's going to be great. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to get there today. You're going to rush. How many balls are you going to be able to hit on the range? Do you go to the putting green? You got to get ready. Mentally, you got to get ready. And ladies and gentlemen, Scottie Scheffler. That crowd's going to go crazy. Wow. What a day. What a day. And it's just after 9 o'clock.
Oh, man.
What a day. Scottie Scheffler has just arrived, I believe, at the golf course.
Thug life.
Just arrived at the golf course. He's got a little less than an hour to get ready